Good evening. I'm Dr. Kelly Batten, Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources. I bring you greetings on behalf of Chatham County Schools and welcome to our 2024 State of Our Schools event. Your feedback matters to us, so there is a survey that will be emailed for those that registered, and also you can use the code as you exit. We also like to share that our food and floral arrangements were provided by our own students who are part of our career and technical education program, including at the back of our room, our Northwood High School Culinary Arts. They are under the direction of Chef X, who is also with us this evening. Thank you. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our principal of Siler City Elementary School, Principal Sarah Estes, who will come forward in leading the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome our Siler City Elementary Bulldogs, Johan, Zachary, and Lily, as they lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance in Spanish and in English. Please stand.
Prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a la república que representa una nación ante Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. This evening we have performing the national anthem for us is the George Moses Horton Choir, led by Christine Vaughn. Christine most recently was our One Chatham Middle School Honors Chorus clinician this past Tuesday. We are honored to have her here and her group with us tonight. If you would all please rise one more time for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Before we continue, we'd also like to recognize a student from Silk Hope School, Mr. Wyatt Culberson, who graciously provided his talents for us this evening out in the lobby with his piano playing. Wyatt, if you would please stand and be recognized. Thank you so much for being here. Up next, I would like to introduce Mr. Gary Leonard.
Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. Of course, we thought we built it big enough, but you see we didn't. But thank you for coming to our State of Schools tonight. Our building is just fantastic. We just wanted to show that off. But we also want to show you what our children can do. And these are things they do every day. And we're just so pleased and proud that you're here to give them your support. I'd like to start with our school board members. We've got Ms. Dale Turner, Vice Chair, sitting right here up front. We have Mr. David Ham over here. And I'm not sure if Ms. Jane Allen Wilson is with us. I don't think so. Or Ms. Julia Bridenstine, she had to travel out west, emergency for her dad, so she's not here. And we do have a new member coming on. Ms. Bridenstine's going off. Ms. Anna Carlson will be on our school board when we start back in December. Couple things I want to mention. And let me get my note card, and I pull this out, and you think, oh, he's going to take forever. I'm not. Couple of things I want you to remember. You hear so many things about education, the state of education. Come and visit our schools, please. Come and see what they can do. Just talked to a parent earlier, talking about, went to the AVID presentation Tuesday at Chatham Central, and how fantastic it was and how good the kids are. They're that way everywhere. We've got great kids. I really believe, the thing we look at is, they talk about choice so much. Just remember, we welcome everyone. We take everyone where they're at. And our staff moves them to where they need to be and works hard to do that each and every day. And we appreciate so much what our staff does. And we're going to continue to, they're dimming lights on me. They tell me I take too much time. But we're going to continue to try to be the best choice in Chatham County Schools, in Chatham County, for our parents, for our students. So please help continue with your support. And speaking of support, I can't move on without talking about our county commissioners. We had our state school board, as North Carolina School Board Association state convention this week. And our county commissioners were named on Tuesday as the 2024 North Carolina County Commissioners of the Year because of their support of our county schools. And some of our commissioners are here. We have, I'm going to start down this way. I'll do Commissioner Mike Dasher. He is our chairman. Amanda Robertson is coming on in December. Am I correct? She'll replace Commissioner Dasher. Katie Kenlon. And Vice Chair Karen Howard. In this third row is Commissioner David Delaney. I hadn't forgotten you. And I don't know if Franklin is here. Is he? Okay. Franklin Gomez Lopez. Am I getting that? Flores. That's right. Okay. I've got it written down. I should do better. So just remember how much support, and they're continually doing that for us. So thank you for that. I will now welcome our Assistant Superintendent for Academic Services and Instructional Support, Dr. Amanda Moran.
I'm the short one, so I'm going to pull it down here. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. One of our goals for this evening is we wanted to share a little bit about our strategic plan, which is otherwise known as One Chatham. And we really wanted One Chatham to be so synonymous, similar to like Roll Tide or Go Heels. So we have this little saying that we do around here. When I say one, you say Chatham. So we're going to start with that, okay? So when I say one, you're going to say what? Chatham. Here we go. One. Chatham. One. Chatham. One. Chatham. All right, so we're going to head on into our program. But we started this journey back in 2021 when our superintendent, Dr. Jackson, arrived. We started this with listening tours. We had surveys, listening tours, and we then had focus groups. And we took the topics that were most pressing from our listening tours, and we pulled small groups of people from across our community together. After that, we had our One Chatham community event. How many of you in this room participated in that event? Let's see a show of hands. Quite a few of you. So we had several hundred participants from across our community who rolled up their sleeves and helped write our mission, our vision, some of our core beliefs, and they also helped decide what our 5 priority areas would be. After that, we developed working groups to set our action plans, and we had board approval, and then we had a culminating event with our back-to-school convocation. Now, this is no ordinary 5-year strategic plan. It is an award-winning plan. Our PR team received the Best of the Best Blue Ribbon Award for journalism. Also, our plan is not one that sits on a dusty shelf. It is one that we use each and every day. So I'm going to pop on into our website. If you don't know, we have a new website. Our PR team did a great job. We also have a new district app, so if you don't have that, check it out. But on our One Chatham page, you can see a number of things here. You can see an infographic, our mission, vision, core values. There are also videos that have stakeholders who had a part in writing this plan. And then you can also see our plan. Kind of hard to talk and click at the same time. You can see points of pride, and as you click on this from time to time, if you check it in a few months, it may change because we add things as we go. Our 5 priority areas are priority 1, curriculum and innovation, priority 2, student health and safety, priority 3, faculty and staff, priority 4, facilities and infrastructure, and priority 5, communication and information sharing. You can see we have 111 strategies, 5 focus areas, 12 goals, and ultimately that will impact over 9,000 students. As you go through our plan, you'll notice at the top what our goals are. That's where we want to go in this 5-year plan. Right underneath, you will also see our baseline data, and then along the way, we will add metrics. At the bottom of the page, you'll see our action steps. If they are in green, it means we've completed that action step. If it is in yellow, it means it's in progress. Remember, it's a 5-year plan, so not everything will be finished just yet. But you'll notice that the last time we clicked in here, it was pretty bare. So we've made a lot of progress across each of our 5 priority areas. And again, we want this to be a living document. Other ways we make this a living document, we do a couple of different things. Every single board meeting, if you've come to a board meeting, how many of you have been to board meetings? All right, thank you for coming. You probably noticed that when we start an item, we always say this is aligned with our strategic plan priority area blank. And we do that because if it's important enough to talk about at a board meeting, then it needs to be aligned to our plan. We also do that with our cabinet level meetings, principal meetings, and any type of district leadership meeting. In addition, when we have professional development across our district, we try to make sure that we always start with our why and we show the staff how it aligns to our strategic plan. And then finally, the 5th way that we try to keep our plan alive, events like this. We want to make sure that we are sharing with our stakeholders our progress, our successes, our challenges, and also give people the opportunity to give us feedback. Now, I don't know about you, but probably some of you in the work that you do, you've had strategic plans, and oftentimes they end up on a shelf, and you write them, you have a big celebration, and then you usually don't do much with them. And I can honestly say in my 28 years of education now, this is the first time that I've been a part of an organization that really, truly does live this process. Now, we also want to celebrate the work of our plan. If you know someone in our community or on our staff who really exemplifies one of these 5 areas, please nominate them for the Power of One award. This can come from community members, parents, students, and they can be given to staff, district leaders, parents, and community members who help carry out these 5 areas. Now, our strategic plan, it tells what our why is. Who we are, what we believe, but it also is our way, How do we do business each and every day? Now, no strategic plan is going to be effective if it does not have strong support, foundation from a great leader. And so we are so fortunate in Chatham to have Dr. Jackson at the helm, who forces us and pushes us to always be better each and every day and to live out these 5 priority areas. So I will turn it over to Dr. Jackson.
And so I've been handicapped right away because, as you all know, I walk and talk, but I've been told that I must stay here because they are filming this. So if I start moving, somebody just start doing like that, like an airplane, to get me back. And so we really are wanting to make sure that we stay locked into why we do what we do every single day. I start just about every conversation I have with everyone by saying one simple thing to our community, to our staff, to our students. I love what I do. That's where it starts. And so why I do what I do is very simple for me every day to get to that place. And we want everyone that walks through Chatham County Schools to have that same level of commitment to, you've got to know why you're doing this. And as an organization, we have to be able to tell you why we do what we do for kids. And I am very, very committed to making sure that our kids are prepared for a future that they cannot describe yet. That's our job. That's our why. We're going to push them every single day to make sure that we're doing everything. If you look at these pictures, you get to see all kinds of things that happen in our district. And so when I walk out into the community and there are people who say, well, do we still do this? I want you to know that the food that you ate tonight, as we said, was cooked by our students. The music that you heard tonight, our students performed. You heard our students not only present some of our founding documents, but they also shared it in a different language. They were able to stand here in front of you and do that. So yes, we do teach students how to present themselves publicly. We do teach foreign languages. We do offer career and technical skills that they can walk out of here and do. We do have students who participate in the music of what we do. Our way is through what we call the 3 A's. The day I arrived, I challenged our staff to be that we said we wanted our system to be a AAA school system, where every single child could find success in one of these 3 pathways: the arts, athletics, or academics. Some kids will get 2, some will get 3. Some will really touch a little bit and never master any of them, but the experiences in all of them will give them the leg up that they need to move forward. So tonight, I'm hoping that we can share things with you that will open your eyes to what we provide for students through our way, so that through our way every single day, so that when we get to the end of this, we'll continue to understand why we focus every single day on ensuring that wherever a child lives in Chatham County, they get our absolute best. Dr. Moran, come on back. I think we tag team here or something like that.
So you've already seen some of our arts performances. We'll have a few more this evening. And it's always hard to pick a couple of key things to celebrate, but we do have a couple of things we want to share with you about our arts programming. We have one of our teachers at Pollard Middle, Miss Rebecca Clemens, who was selected as the North Carolina Jazz Band Director of the Year. She also just performed, I believe it was just last week, at the NCMEA conference, and they did a fantastic job. It was the 8th grade band, and they sounded more like a collegiate band. We also have students who are performing at the Elementary Honors Chorus. This is Chatham Grove here you see in the middle. Last year, we had Jordan Matthews that performed North Carolina's first performance of Frozen. We had the exclusive rights to be able to do that. That was through an application and grant process. We also learned recently that Northwood High School's Marching Chargers, I'm a former Marching Charger band mom, shameless plug, they just came back from Cary Band Day, and they received All Superior this season, and they had first place at Cary Band Day. Now, if you know anything about Cary Band Day, this is kind of like the Super Bowl of marching band performances. So this was a really big deal. They have not had a superior season since 2018, so this was a great season for them. We also have all county band events. This is where we take the best of our chorus students, the best of our band students, the best of our dancers, and the best of our visual artists, and we have culminating performances that bring all of our students from each of our schools together. Again, kind of taking us back to that one Chatham idea. We also had at Northwood High School Miss Leslie Burwell, who was the North Carolina Secondary Arts Teacher of the Year. If you don't know, Chatham County Schools is one of the communities, there's only 2 in the state of North Carolina, that are named a Best Communities for Music Education. So only 2 in the state of North Carolina, and these are selected, you have to meet certain criteria. 1, the type of staff that you have, the number of staff you have for music education, the funding that you put towards music education, and the types of courses and opportunities that students have. So we're extremely proud of that. I believe this is year 7 that we have received this honor. We also celebrate each September Arts and Education Week because we are an arts district. And so let's listen to our Jordan Matthews arts teachers tell us a little bit about why arts matter.
Good. Now switch so you're back in your original order. Yep. If we had more space, it'd be a little easier. Left leg forward, right arm forward. 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm really excited to be in Chatham County this year. I'm having a great time so far. We have so many different arts programs around us, and that they are funded and that people want to provide for us and help students learn about the arts.
My first year teaching at JM has been a lot of fun so far. It's been fun getting to know the kids just as people and to see their creative sides. But it's also been really fun to get to make music with them. A lot of these kids in my classes have not been in a traditional choral class before, but in the first 3 weeks I've already seen drastic improvement, and they're learning to read music independently, which is really awesome to see.
Arts and Education Week is very important. It's important to have classes in arts like theater, chorus, dance, all of that, because it gives kids an outlet. You know, not every kid likes sports, not every kid likes math or reading, even though they have to have it. But I think it's just another thing for them to be able to do and find their group of people that they want to be with and the things that they like to do.
So the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction defines a comprehensive arts education program as having 3 prongs, just like a stool. Arts education, which is the curriculum components, arts exposure, making sure our students have access to professionals, and also arts integration across the curriculum. So a few ways we do this in Chatham County Schools: all of our students in kindergarten through 8th grade receive arts instruction in visual arts, general music, chorus, and band every single week. At a time that many districts are cutting arts programs or diminishing them to only once a month or every other week, we are adding positions. We are proud to say that we now have full-time teachers for visual arts and music and chorus in every single one of our schools. We also this year have a full-time lead arts instructional program facilitator, Mr. Brian DeCristofaro, who you met earlier. We also have partnerships with groups like Triangle Youth Music. They help sponsor and fund the instructors for our elementary strings program at Siler City Elementary and Virginia Cross Elementary. And Artist Year is a program, this is our 2nd year partnering with Artist Year. They provide us visiting artists who come in our schools and teach. They are with us 4 days a week, and they are with us all year. So it's like having another instructor in our schools for a very, very low price. We also like to engage our students in high-quality core instruction, and we know that students are often engaged with the arts. So it is common to see arts in health occupations, arts in science, where we might use visual arts to show complex models in science. You might also see in a theater production, study of geography or history, and this just makes the instruction come alive with the arts. Arts exposure. We want to make sure that our students have opportunities seeing performers on the stage. And we are proud to do that with our Artist in Residency program that is funded and sponsored by the Chatham Arts Council. I believe Cheryl Shambly and Jessica are here. Thank you so much for your support. you don't know much about this program, it's been in place, I think, almost 10 years now, is that right? And it's in every K-8 school, and we're pretty certain that we're the only district in the state that has this in every school. What you will see in an artist residency program, you might see students doing workshops with professional artists where they're learning from the artist. You might also see collaborative performances where the artist and the students perform together. You may also see the artist performing for the school. And you will also sometimes see the artist teaching our teachers how to use their craft in the classroom. It's a magical thing to watch, and our students and our teachers give such high praise to this program. If you've never heard of this program, please go and check out the Arts Council website. You can see on the right-hand side, or maybe on, yes, it's on the right for you too. You can see they have photos and videos on their website that show you all about this program. And this program will not be possible without donations from community members and other types of organizations. So thank you for anyone who helps support that program. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. DeCristofaro.
All right, we are so lucky tonight to have the Seaforth International Thespian Honor Society with us today under the tutelage of Miss Rachel Horowitz-Andrews. What you're about to see is a 5-minute cut from the one act, A Touch of Love by Seaforth's own Abby Zwalin. She was recognized last year for winning the NC Young Playwrights competition with this piece. The performers today include Abby Zwalin, who is the playwright and director, Vanessa Wilson, who is the stage manager, Kendall Anderson, Kevin Jones, Eleanor Prothero, and Laura Morgan. I'm going to invite Abby to talk just briefly about what they're getting ready to perform as the rest of them get set up for the one act.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Abby Zwolin, and I'm the writer and director of A Touch of Love, which won the North Carolina Young Playwright Festival's contest last spring. Thank you. These amazing actors, we are taking this play to a regional competition in January that's hosted by the International Thespian Society. And we're super excited for that, and this is the first time that we'll be performing a cut of it for a live audience, so that's super exciting. Since we're only able to do a quick cut, I'd like to share a brief, what the story is about. So, A Touch of Love is about a divorced man named Matthew who lives alone until 3 Greek muses, ancient goddesses of the arts, come and visit him. Throughout the play, Matthew learns how to deal with the guilt that he has over being divorced and how to be a good father. And the muses learn how to work together and inspire Matthew, and what inspiration really is. I'd like to take a moment to thank our amazing teacher, Mrs. Horowitz-Andrews, my amazing stage manager, Vanessa, and the amazing actors that I cannot wait for you to see, and Chatham County for helping create an environment where we can do amazing things like this. So without further ado, A Touch of Love. Jenny! Hi, how are? Of course I know what day it is. Yes, it's the 10th. Of course I'm ready for her. Yes, dinner's almost done. I left work early just so I could start it. No, of course it's not cereal. No, it's not a problem. I can drop her off at dance. I know she's not feeling well, but I'll make it fun. Responsibly, of course. Jenny, I think you're getting all worked up over nothing. She's my daughter too, you know. I'll make sure to do what's best for her. All right, bye. Love. Hello? Is this hot and ready pizza? Yeah. I'd like to order the healthiest pizza you have.
Look at this place. Ripped couch, stains on the table, bills in the fridge. Looks like an artist to me.
Oh, here at my job. What a lovely surprise. But I'm afraid there's been a mistake. Hermie sent me here. Why don't you run along and write some sad poetry or something?
I'll have you know that Hermes sent me here first, so why don't you run along, as I don't see any need for a mani-pedi.
You're hilarious. I must say, you are effective. This place already looks like a tragedy. I think what it needs now is a little love.
Well, it doesn't need a head case, so why don't you... Oh.
Melly Arado, come to support me on my job.
It's my job.
So Hermes, so you both. Well, this is quite the comedy of errors. So, what are we thinking? Novelist? Actor?
We aren't thinking anything. I have this all under control, so you two can run along.
I was thinking the same thing.
Fantastic, so we both agree that I can handle it. Thalia, dear, I think I heard a comedian downstairs, so why don't you,
Haha, nice try. I'm funny, not stupid. I haven't had a good mission in months, and this rat's nest looks good. Besides, this place doesn't need more Debbie Downer. It needs some...
Me?
Eric Generado was definitely not what I was thinking. More a terrific Talia, brighten this place up.
Whatever. I am so done with you both. I would wish you good luck, but I don't really care. Hermes, take me back. I said Hermes!
Clearly, Hermes isn't letting us leave until we get this job done.
Together? Ha! I don't think so.
Who said we have to do it together?
We can't do it separately, can we?
Sure we can. And we can spice it up too. I say we make it a little competition.
A little. How about we make a big bet? Whoever inspires the artist gets to choose a punishment for the losers.
Deal.
Fine, if you two are going to act like children, then...
What the? Who? Why?
Silence, Morton, all shall be explained. We are the Muses, ancient goddesses of the arts and everyday inspiration to artists around the world. I am Melpomene, goddess of tragedy. This is Talia, goddess of comedy. And that is Erato, goddess of love and airheads.
And that's why Talia here is the goddess of humor.
Is this some kind of sick joke? How did you get in here?
Hermes sent us. Usually artist folk are a bit more excited to see us.
Hermes sent... Wait. I'm not even an artist. I'm an accountant.
What?
Wow. It's one thing to go and see a theater production that's, one you've seen on TV, but to see one that our students wrote, performed, directed, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Nice job. So we know that our arts programs in Chatham are thriving, and we may not produce the next Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Picasso or Tom Cruise or whoever's really famous right now that I don't have time to watch TV and know about. We know that we may not produce those people. But what we do know is that research tells us that the arts helps students achieve in school. It also helps them feel connected to school, and it also helps them with social, emotional, mental health as well. So we are proud in Chatham to have a thriving arts program for our students. We are also proud to have a really strong academic program. And so we're going to share with you just a couple of highlights from our performance from this past year and a few school celebrations. One of the things in our strategic plan in Priority 1 is to create an instructional framework. We know that we have many novice teachers. We also have a lot of resources in our district, but what we found is that people couldn't find them. So we created an instructional framework that shows the curriculum, what we teach, the instruction, how we teach it, the strategies we use, the environment, how we will support students so they can learn, and assessment, how will we monitor what we're teaching. So when teachers click on this and go to our website, if they're a third grade teacher, for example, they will click on this framework and it will take them to all of the resources for all of their subject areas. They can click and see pacing guides for their instruction. They've made it fancy with tabs. Has all of the standards for the year, links to various assessments that they might need. It also has things like other resources in the district, such as digital learning tools that we have available for all of our students and teachers. So it's kind of a one-stop shop so that our teachers know what is available, what they're supposed to be teaching. So we're very proud of the work of our academic services team on creating this framework because we know high-quality instruction is most important. In addition to high-quality instruction, we also have other programs such as intervention programs, scholastic opportunities, clubs that enhance the core curriculum. So some of those types of things, we every year have students who perform at the state science fair. Also, we have a spelling bee where all of our schools participate in grades K through 8, and we have had students go to the state competition every single year. We also have an internationally recognized dual language program. We have one of the few, let me see if I get this right, the few rural high school demonstration schools for AVID, and you're going to hear more about AVID in a moment. We have students at each of our high schools who are Dell Scholars, recipients of prestigious awards like Moorhead, Kane, and more. The students you see in the bottom left are students from Jordan Matthews. We also have students being recognized at the national level. The student you see in the center bottom there is Mrs. Kylie Beck. She was a second place national winner at the National Beta Club Convention. We also have award-winning CTE programs. You've seen some of that tonight with Chef X and his amazing crew. Also, if you've noticed some of the beautiful poinsettia arrangements around, those are brought to us by our students at Chatham Central High School in their horticulture program. They have an amazing spring and winter plant sale, so if you need to get poinsettias, now is the time to do that. And on your programs, if you look at there's a program that has the One Chatham Strategic Plan. In the front of it, if you have a blue star, you are the lucky winner, and you'll be able to take one of these beautiful plants home with you this evening. So we'll see who our lucky winners are. So make sure you pick one up on the way out. We also have scholastic opportunities. Well, let's wait and see our winners. Who has a blue star? Come on. Congratulations. We also have scholastic opportunities in each of our schools. This past year, we made sure that we as a district were providing all of the registration fees and fees for the scholastic competitions. We have some of our teachers and administrators at George Moses Horton, who you can see here, who won some recognition from that group. We also had one of the first elementary school groups to participate in these scholastic opportunities last year. So you see North Chatham in the middle there, who were named the Scholastic Stars. And for many years, until last year, we were the winner of the Scholastic Cup. We lost it by 1 point, and so I am challenging all the principals in the room. We're getting that cup back this year. But all that to say, our students are competitive, and they go to these competitions. They represent Chatham well, and that's because they also have great instruction. AVID is one of our flagship programs. It's in all of our schools, middle school through high school. It started back in 2006. I'm not going to read the timeline to you, but you can see kind of where our journey has been. And you can also see here on this slide how we compare to some of the national facts related to AVID. We have 100% of our AVID students who receive college acceptance. Now let's hear from some of our students who are currently in college how AVID helped them.
AVID really helped me become the best student I am today, and it gave me the chance to get a full ride here at Chapel Hill and be a Dell Scholar. Also, it helped me develop meaningful relationships with two of my closest teachers I have, Ms. Dean and Ms. Lindley. If it wasn't for those teachers, I don't think I would be here today, and they just really helped me become a better me.
High school can be scary sometimes for incoming freshmen, so getting to know your peers, getting to have teachers who are close by you that can help you in the classroom and outside of the classroom, and also to just get that one-up experience about college.
AVID to me has been a very amazing way to create friendships, long-lasting connections, and most importantly, create a community. AVID has created this community by keeping us together throughout the 4 years that we've been in high school together. We all shared amazing accomplishments, from celebrating our acceptances, where I was accepted into 13 colleges.
I honestly don't think I would be here without AVID. AVID has helped me with my college applications, scholarship applications, and I'm proud to say that I'm a Dell Scholar and a Richard and Susan Allison Assured Admit Scholar, which is a merit full ride scholarship to UNC. I would give all of my gratitude to our AVID coordinator, Ms. Deaton. She really helped me with mock interviews, reading through my college applications. And so that's the basis of AVID. AVID's a family, and it really contributes to our journey together.
I love how Andy just casually threw in there, I was accepted to 13 colleges. That was my favorite part. We have high achievement in Chatham. In almost every single metric at the state level, we are above state averages. This past year, we had 16 of our 19 schools that had a performance grade of C or better. And if you look here at the stats, only 67% of state schools received a score of C or better. We typically are also about third in the region for various metrics. Sometimes we're second, sometimes we're third. But this is our overall performance composite, which is all of the metrics kind of put into one score. And so you can see where we fall there. We're extremely proud of the work we've done with literacy. Grades 3 through 8 reading, we are 15th in the state out of 115 districts, and you see that transcend into high school as well with English 2. We are 13th in the state. I can remember years ago when I first arrived in the district, I want to say about 8 years ago, we were around 60th. In literacy. So we've made a lot of progress over time with new curriculum materials and support from our board members and commissioners for funding to support assessments and curricular materials. We're also excited that we know great instruction, the culminating event is graduation. And this past year we had a graduation rate. It was 89.7, but the state rounded up, so did we, and we got to that 90%. You can see there that we surpassed the state average for both 4- and 5-year grad rates. And our students are not only graduating, they are bringing home some dollars, $36 million plus in scholarships. Many of those dollars were brought in by our AVID students as well. Not only are they bringing in those dollars, but they are also saving dollars. Our students last year had 5,404 college credits, which equates to 360 semesters, otherwise known as free money for mom and dad. Those are courses they don't have to take in college. 97% of our students were accepted into 2- or 4-year colleges, and right around 90% of our students said that they plan to attend. We know we did have students who went into the military, providing service for our country. We also have students who had enough credentials in our career and technical education program that they left after graduation and went straight into the workforce, probably making more money than many of us in the room started with when we were young. So we're very proud of the fact that we have students who earn those type of credentials in our high schools. Now, how do we fund all of these things? Because we know that our state does not always fund all of the things that we need to be able to provide these types of opportunities for our students. So we write a lot of grants, and many of you may or may not know we are a Tier 3 county, and that means that we have kind of that higher level of income, so we're often not able to get some grants. But we are successful from time to time. One that we're most proud of recently is our DPI Impact Grant, which is focused on artificial intelligence. It's over $300,000, and our very own Dr. Berggren is kind of being known across the state now as being an expert in AI, and so we're going to be sharing that with other districts. Actually, they were here this week from across the state, and we'll be having a culminating event later this year. We also have partnerships with great partners like Chatham Education Foundation, who help give our teachers grants. They also help fund programs like AVID. We also do partnerships with a number of institutions of higher learning where we do research partnerships, where they may come and study some of our programs to give us information that we might not otherwise have the capacity to do in-house. We also use federal, state, and local funds, and we are so thankful for all of the support that we receive from our county and from our Board of Education. Now, if you've not heard of the PTA Thrift Store, that is also a great resource for our schools. Many of our schools use these funds to help with scholastic opportunities and other programs in their schools. This year, there were checks that totaled over $600,000 that went directly to each of our schools. So if you've never volunteered at the PTA Thrift Store, it's pretty easy. You can fold clothes, hang clothes, sort clothes, you name it. Students can volunteer, parents can volunteer, even community members can volunteer, and you can designate where you would like your hours to go. So please support our PTA Thrift Stores. Our schools could not do it without them. And finally, all of this would not be possible without amazing teachers. This past year, 90% of our teachers met or exceeded growth, and we had a couple of schools that had 100% of the teachers meet or exceed. That was North Chatham, Chatham Early College, and Chatham Central High School. All right, Mr. Blyce, our Assistant Superintendent for Operations, is going to bring us home with our athletic program.
Well, thank you, and thank all y'all for being here tonight. And I would love to say that we saved the best for last, but they're over there, and we'll be introducing you to them in just a few minutes. So I do want to thank you for being here. My name is Chris Blyce. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Operations, and one of my roles is that I serve as the County Athletic Director, and I consider that to be a great honor. I was a high school principal for 14 years, and I spent many a day, many an evening out on the field or in a gym or watching our students do some very, very exciting things. So we have two slides here where we're going to give you just a little snippet of some of the honors that our kids have won. I'm not going to take time to go through these, but you can see there's a number here. On our next slide, we have a number as well. This is what's happened just in the last year and a half. This is not a long perspective. All four of our high schools, Chatham Central, Jordan Matthews, Northwood, and Seaforth, are represented in these 2 pages. That gives you an idea of how successful our athletic programs are. But I want to be sure that you understand that that's just a snippet of it. So in middle school, our students can participate, and I wrote them down so I wouldn't miss any. In middle school, softball, baseball, soccer, volleyball, cross-country, cheerleading, and basketball. And that's at the middle school level. In the high school level, the list is much longer. Tennis, golf, lacrosse, soccer, cheerleading, volleyball, wrestling, swimming, cross-country, indoor track, outdoor track, softball, baseball, basketball, and football. In other words, we have a sport for everyone. And if you haven't been to one of our games or one of our matches, I would encourage you to think about doing that. So, I didn't realize that was going to jump that quick. So, our next slide is about one of our teachers. Her name is Shauna Battle. She is at J.S. Waters School. She's the PE teacher there. She is our beginning teacher of the year. And she started an archery program this year. And I wanted to tell you that what she says later on. You'll hear her say this. It is North Carolina's only public school Olympic archery program, right here in Chatham.
I never thought that I would be doing archery in a PE class, you know, here in a K-8 school, but it's wholly possible, and it opens up the door for future opportunities for these students because it's one of those missed sports where there's a lot of scholarship incentive, but not always talked about. One of the things that I really specifically wanted to work on is the fact that we have a small population, and a lot of our population doesn't participate in team sports because they might not speak to them. But I wanted to give the students something to be involved in other than your normal offered sports. So I already had a lot of archery equipment, and just from my business before and teaching archery for years and years and years. So I brought it in, we did it for PE, and the kids loved it. Then I started looking at programs that I could implement to make this more of an opportunity throughout the school year and also a club sport for them. We are one of one. We're the only public school in North Carolina that is an Olympic archery school. I come from a rural town in North Carolina, and a lot of people haven't done the things that I have done, but if you forge the way, if you pave the way, you can do anything. So for me, my family is an education family. There's a lot of ladies in my family, my aunts, my mom, that are all educators. Some of them are principals, some of them taught on the college level. For me, it was kind of more of a mistake than anything. I was actually here for a meeting for one of my stepchildren, and it was mentioned that, oh yeah, well, we do have a vacancy for the PE teacher. So if you want to put your name in the hat, you could. And so I did. And here I am all these months later, but it was very surprising at first when I was hired, and then there's been a lot of hurdles along the way, but there's a lot more to PE than just, okay, go run, or let's play this game sport or this ball sport. You know, some of those things that we learn when we're small will stick with us for the rest of our lives. So I really enjoy trying to encompass a holistic approach while, you know, keeping it fun. I really want them to know that no matter what they try or what they aren't successful at the first time, that's not the end. They can continue, but also that a work ethic, working hard, can get you just about anywhere in this world. Beginning teachers don't give up. Be forgiving of yourself. Always be humble. Be willing to learn. Every day is a learning day. I'm always trying to work on myself so that I can always come with my A game for my students. It's a long-term benefit, this job. We're doing it for the future, not necessarily the here and now. And sometimes we expect that. We want to see results, but it takes a little while, so.
Isn't she great? All right, so we would like to introduce you to 4 of our student athletes from our high schools. And we're going to start down there, and if you will, just tell these folks your name, what school you're from, what grade you're in, and the team sports that you play. Julia, we'll start with you.
Hi, my name is Julia Hull. I run cross country mostly. I also do track. I've done volleyball and also tennis at Northwood High School, and I'm a senior.
My name's Mason Smith. I'm a sophomore at Chatham Central High School, and I do volleyball, and I also play softball.
Hi, my name's Rachel Woods. I go to Jordan Matthews High School. I'm a senior, and I'm a varsity cheerleader, and I also do indoor and outdoor track.
Hi, my name is Lily McFall. I go to Seaforth, and I'm a senior. I play tennis right now, but I used to do indoor-outdoor track as well as swimming.
All right, so I would like each of you, if you would, to tell our folks just something about playing on the team sport and why it's so good, something that you really enjoy about being a part of the team. And we'll start with you down on the end, Julie.
So when I started going to Northwood, I didn't know anybody, and I started playing. I joined their volleyball team, and I was so grateful to have all of my teammates who started as a family. I knew them in the hallways. I passed them and just say hi. And throughout my years of playing sports at Northwood, I have never forgot how much of a difference it makes to me to have my team always supporting me and being with me.
Playing sports at high school, you really build like another family, and they're always there to support you through everything, because not every game is going to be your game, and we're all going to make mistakes, but it's just nice to have those people who you grow such a good bond with to be there for you and lift you up.
I think being a student athlete at Jordan Matthews, when I first came in, I always thought I was a cheerleader. That was it. It's nothing else I could do. It opened my mind to trying new things and building more opportunities for myself that I didn't think I would never have. Building a family and being close to coaches who I thought I would never have been close to. It just opened my mind and my heart to trying new things and being there for people, and also allowing people to be there for me, so I don't have to be so standoffish and a quiet person in the hallway.
For me, it's always been a place to build friendships, especially as the first year at Seaforth, it was all freshmen and sophomores, so we all kind of jumped into the athletics career together, and doing that with those people really helped form friendships almost immediately, and it was just a great place to be.
All right, so I'm going to ask each of you to give me a yes or no answer to this question. All right, and the question is having a high school athletic program important? Is that a good thing? So I'll start down here with Lillian. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely, it definitely is.
Of course, absolutely.
Absolutely, definitely, of course, positively, yes.
There we go. So I polled them before we started tonight, and I said, I want one of you just to stand up and just tell these folks why athletics is so important and what it has meant to you. And Lillian was selected, so Lillian, if you will, stand up and tell our folks why it's so important.
Okay, so for me, I came into Seaforth from Horton as well as a different school, but I attended Horton in my 8th grade year online. And coming to Seaforth, I think there were about 10 fellow Horton students that went there. So going there, I didn't really know anyone. I knew my brother, and that was about it, maybe some friends from the middle schools down the road. But jumping into the tennis season, there was an automatic friend group there to support me, and they've been with me for the last 4 years, and definitely also going into high school with those 2 grades, freshmen and sophomores, having athletics as an opportunity really helped me grow friendships and just a community that would be there with me for the entire school year.
All right. I would like to thank these young folks for being here with us tonight. I was going to ask you to give them a big round of applause, but you obviously did not need that prompt. Thank you so much, and thank you for what you do at your schools, for being a part of our athletic program, and thank you for being a part of Chatham County Schools. Thank you very much. So the next thing we'd like to touch on is one of the people that's sort of behind the scenes, and we have athletic trainers at our high schools, and this young lady here, Jackie Harpham, and she just got married.
Panucci.
There you go. I knew her as Jackie Harpham. But Jackie Harpham, who has been our athletic trainer at Northwood High School since 2013, was named this past year as the North Carolina High School Athletic Association Athletic Trainer of the Year for the entire state. And Ms. Harpham, if you've ever met her, is a force to be reckoned with. An incredible lady. Let's watch and see why.
As athletes are heroes on the court and field, athletic trainers are the unsung heroes for those athletes, serving as champions of student health and wellness. One athletic trainer, Miss Jackie Panucci at Northwood High School, has gone a step further to offer sports medicine as a course offering to high school students, fusing together the values of athletics and academics.
I'll have athletes in class, and when I'm out here with them at practice, I'll kind of bring up things we're talking about in class, whether it be, like wound care or different muscles or bones or motion patterns, and we can kind of apply it, to the real life setting, which I think helps kind of bridge that gap between, it's not just the academics, but you can apply it to the real life, in this case, the athletics. One of my big goals is to help them learn how to take care of themselves, but also take care of their teammates, take care of each other.
And one of those students, Luke Waldstein, spent many hours in the training room and walked away from his injuries with a greater appreciation for the sports medicine field.
I really like sports medicine because it gives you an opportunity to help other people in a practical way. So I am very injury prone, so I spent a lot of time with Ms. Panucci. And she's really great at her job, but more importantly, she always has a great mindset. She's always helping, she's always cheerful.
I mean, that's really the best part of the job, is just getting to form those relationships. And, some of the injuries that I help them through are minor, just aches and pains, and some of them are more significant things that are going to keep them out for a whole season. So we spend a lot of time together, get to know them as people, not just athletes. And I take a lot of pride in hopefully, just helping them know that they have someone in their corner that cares about them, that's going to be there for them, through the ups and downs of their sport, their injury, whatever it might be.
Ms. Panucci's effort to create a culture of care and education on and off the field have been recognized at the district level as a Chatham County Schools Power of One recipient and at the state level, being named the NCHSAA Athletic Trainer of the Year.
The environment here, the people, the support of the administration, of the families in our community, I really can't picture myself being anywhere else than Chatham County.
absolutely an incredible young lady and does so many tremendous things for our kids every day. And we're very blessed to have positions at each of our high schools for athletic trainers, so she's not our only one. But I do want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for your support of our schools and our athletic programs. I would like to encourage all of you, if you haven't done it lately, pick the school of your choice and go see an athletic event and see our kids in action. I think you'll be impressed. I think you'll walk away feeling really positive about our school system and about our students and about our staff. Thank you very much. Without further ado, I'll turn this over to Dr. Jackson, who is going to be talking about some promising practices.
And he's also jealous that you got to walk around and I have to stand behind this. No, thank you. I'm going to follow the instructions that I received at the beginning. Before I go any further, are our students not amazing? Let's give them a really. This is not really hard. And so we come to this event and we talk about all of the great things, but we have major challenges that are in front of us. And so we have to try new things. We have to try many of those things that will address those kids, because we've now told you about the 80 to 90% of our kids who do well. They come here, they get everything they need, right? And so now we have to talk about what are those opportunities that will help those kids who need that extra thing, that they don't find their success in the arts or athletics, or they need another push, they need another opportunity. So we try to implement promising practices in our district that will really push us to be innovative, to open new doors, and to try things. One of them that we're so very proud of this year is our One Academy. One Academy is that space, our non-traditional school, where we allow kids to just go a different pathway, to take a different pathway to the high school diploma. We're so very proud of those students who maybe they were not successful in the traditional school setting, but they find home at One Academy. And what I've said to our students, some of our kids, they come and they want nothing to do with school, and they are ready to walk away. And some of the kids, they have walked away. But at One Academy, we offer them the opportunity. They've fallen out of love with school somewhere. One Academy gives them the opportunity to just date a while. Come back and let's have a date or two. Try to get, and maybe you'll fall in love again, but ultimately we want you to fall in love with you so that you will pursue that high school diploma, so that you get to the launching pad to do something for yourself in the future. This year, our school district, we have kids who can eat all day, but one of the things that we're so very proud about is our school system working together with our child nutrition program. We were able this year to offer free meals for all of our students, breakfast and lunch. That's a promising practice that everybody talks about. Will it make a difference? We know that it makes a difference because our cafeteria manager comes to me on a weekly basis. She tracks the number of meals that we're serving daily. We're serving more meals than we served pre-pandemic every day. Kids are actually eating the meals. We're eating approximately 10,000 plus meals, breakfast and lunch, every single day. Free. And it's not free. We're going to have to figure out a way to continue it. But this year, it's not free. We're going to figure it out. Spark Labs. We're finding kids who are geniuses, but they have to demonstrate it in other places, like using their hands, being creative. Spark Lab. So we have 2 Spark Labs now. We have a Spark Lab at our One Academy and our early college building, and we have one at Seaforth. The Spark Lab, we're one of 16 across the state, where the General Assembly looked for people who wanted to be innovative, to try things that will turn kids on and point them towards the workforce of the future. And we were selected as one of those, and we have 2 of those here in our district where our kids are doing all kinds of things. They're coding, they're writing all kinds of scripts, they're creating video games, they're into robotics, they're making stuff, they're talking about stuff that I can't explain. And so it's important we had an open house just a few weeks ago. It was amazing to see what our kids were doing. Amazing to do that. We have our Z-Space lab. Now, Z-Space is really one of those labs that really helps our kids use it's virtual reality as a tool for learning, for understanding content. We have a lab down at our Center for Innovation. Our student, our parent, and our educator advisory groups are constantly giving us feedback. We don't get it right all of the time. I don't want you to think that. We have to work through some things. And so I'm very grateful that we have groups that will tell us, we ought to try this. We ought to try that. Or we're doing a great job. I had 2 parents who walked up to me tonight and said, the Yonder pouches are amazing. Thank you for saying that to me. And they were saying, it makes a difference. It's making a difference for my children. The 2 of them said that. So we're excited about that. And then this year, we are really going all in to find, we want a teacher in every classroom. So we've hired this year over 50 international teachers in our district who are bringing their expertise. And here's the beauty. They're coming to us as experienced teachers. They cannot engage in this program with less than 10 years experience teaching. So we're getting experienced teachers who are coming to Chatham County who are blessing our kids with exposure to their culture, but they're also bringing their expertise as classroom teachers. And so for the first time this year, we had schools since the pandemic who were fully staffed on day one. And so we're very, very grateful for that. This year, we also implemented, we have kids who are after the pandemic, we can continue to talk about the impact of the pandemic, or we can do something. So we developed a very clear pathway to support our students and their social and emotional needs across this district. And so we have a menu of options that we have invested in and we're working through. One is Daybreak. We have counseling for any child in our system who needs it. If their parents need it, and we're providing that to them at no cost. All they have to do is work with their counselor, get connected, and they can provide that support. Family, and they'll provide the support to our students and to their families as well. We have Gaggle, which helps our kids. If they see something and want to say something about it, they can report it. And it also surveils our email systems and things like that. So if kids are doing things inappropriate with that, threatening kids, we get a way to find that out as an early alert system so that hopefully we'll get to them before it becomes an issue that they're going to get in trouble for. The other thing that we have, Go Guardian. Our teachers told us that we need to have the ability to monitor the kids on the Chromebooks in classrooms because they're playing games, they're doing other things. Well, we gave them this tool so that they can monitor that. The state offered it as a pilot, we're trying it out. The Say Something app has been here, but the Yonder pouch is our big pilot for this year, where we are trying to, I made a commitment to our teachers back in August that we were going to give them their classrooms back. We were going to try to create distraction-free environments for our kids. We're not banning cell phones, we're not taking away cell phones, we are asking kids to manage them. Put them in the pouch, leave them in the pouch until you go home. As I said at our convocation, we learned about this on 60 Minutes, but it's a standard that's used now at big concerts. So typically you can pay, if you went to the Beyonce concert, you can pay up to $1,000 to use a Yonder pouch because you're going to put your phone in and we're letting you use it free. Lucky you, right? And then I want parents to know that we have Zscaler, and that is our filter. We filter content so that everything is not allowed into our internet system. Our kids can't just go everywhere. We miss some things, but we have a content filter that we stay up to date with, and we're making sure that our kids are safe every day, all day.
Let's explore how Yonder pouches are transforming our educational environments for the better through the implementation of phone-free classrooms. Improved classroom environment. Teachers report a more positive and respectful atmosphere when students are less preoccupied with their phones, and teachers can focus on the task at hand, educating, not competing for the class's attention. With fewer disruptions and more engaged students, there's a positive shift in the classroom, making it easier to teach and learn. Enhanced focus and engagement. Yonder pouches help students stay focused. By temporarily securing phones in their pouches, students can concentrate and actively participate in lessons. Less screen time means more face-to-face interaction and engagement, leading to a more productive classroom environment and better academic performance. Increased social interaction. Without phones as a barrier, students engage more with each other, collaborate better on group projects, and build stronger relationships with their peers. This allows students to develop essential social skills that are crucial for the future success in college and the workforce. Taking responsibility for your education. Knowing that their phones will be secured, students learn to manage their time and focus more on their studies without external distractions. This fosters a sense of accountability and helps students develop better habits for managing their coursework responsibly. Student and staff safety. Most importantly, the use of cell phones in a school setting can have a negative impact on a student's mental and physical health. Cell phones are often used to make threats of violence toward school communities. These threats require extended time to investigate. Social media is often used for cyberbullying, threats toward individuals, and instigating fights. The use of a cell phone during a crisis situation can inhibit the student's ability to stay focused on listening to safety directives, finding a safe space, and staying hidden. Students will be able to make contact with parents once it is safe to do so. Yonder offers a range of benefits, from improved focus and reduced distractions to increased social interaction and a safer school environment. By creating a space where students can truly connect with their learning and each other, Yonder pouches are making a positive impact on education. If you would like to learn more about Yonder pouches and their benefits, you can visit our website at chatham.k12.nc.us and under Resources, click Yonder Pouch Implementation.
And so we're learning an awful lot about our students and their capacity with this pilot. But I will tell you what made it work for me, and I've said this over and over again. I had a teacher after about a month of this who said to me, she said, "Jackson, I didn't know where I fell on this. I didn't know if I supported it." She said, "But I'm a believer." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "I've been in Chatham a long time." And she said, "I just realized for the first time since the pandemic, I saw my students' eyes." We had gotten so very comfortable with this. She said, I could tell you what the tops of their heads look like. What I'm hearing from our principals is that our kids are engaging more. They're talking to each other. The cafeteria is louder. We want that. That means that they're not plotting. But we want that. This is important. And more importantly, when we hear from our students that this is a good thing, I don't have to worry about somebody taking my picture and bullying me or teasing me or doing things like that. And I'm okay with having my phone be out of the way while I'm supposed to be learning. And so we want to honor that with our teachers by giving them their classrooms back, and we're also giving our students their friends back. So if we could stay the course with this, we're going to learn a lot about our pilot. We're halfway through. But I can tell you our disciplinary referrals are down. We're seeing, I had one of the principals tell me that the number of Fs have decreased. So that means that the first quarter, we're not seeing as many kids fail. We're seeing that. We don't know if it's tied to the phone yet, but tied to Yonder Pouch, but we're watching. And we're looking at all of those very same data points so that we can tell you whether we should continue and push forward with it or if we ought to do some things differently. But I thank you all for trusting us enough to try that promising practice because it's going to make a difference. Our staff, we did some things with them. Our board, we want to thank, for the first time, we put together a unified stipend structure. Most people say, well, why? We paid our coaches and after-school folk for coaching, but our arts people were kind of not in that loop. Our club sponsors were not in and they do work after school. So we created a unified stipend structure for our arts, athletics, and academic folk who do the extra work outside of their contract day. And we came up with that. It's been very successful. We're really pleased with that. We've increased the supplement with you heard with the support of our county commissioners, our school board, and our parents for really coming together saying we want to make sure that our teachers are paid respectfully. We were able to increase our supplements. And then we launched a program called Choose Chatham. We finally have some of our employees living in some of the new places here in Chatham County. We've got a grant that we're trying a program where we help them. They commit to be with us, and we figure out how we find grant funding to help subsidize the cost of rent. How many of you know it's expensive to live in Chatham County? You may have heard that. True. So we're trying to figure out a way to get more people who work for Chatham County to live in Chatham County. And so we've created a model that we're working on. We've got folk we're working with our developers, our community people, and so we've gotten some initial traction with that, and we're excited about that. And so then there are a couple of challenges I want to just throw at you, and then we're going to be done for the evening. The big thing is growth is here. We're not growing as fast as we thought we would right now because we have some challenges with infrastructure, and we believe that once those infrastructure issues are taken care of, the growth is going to start. We know our demographers have told us that in the next 10 years we will probably double in size. So every day we're thinking about how we can prepare for that as a school system. So that's on the table. Communication. We're figuring out that we are always having to figure out a new way to communicate with our families. We have a new app. Please use the app. But we still are out there on social media, so we're going to need you there as well. There's a new one called Blue Sky. Is it Blue Sky? Yeah. So we're figuring out how to do that. Program options. I was glad to see our EDC folk in the room because we're getting calls from people all over the country. We're going to have to open our minds to new and innovative types of programs. We're going to have that conversation. IB programs, year-round programs, things like that, because people who are moving to our communities are coming from communities with those programs. And they're trying to make the decision about whether they make Chatham County home or will I just live over the line and work in Chatham. And so we have to have a hard conversation. That might mean that we have to do something different moving forward. But program options are there. Funding. I said I was going to be real careful here. I am so very grateful to our county commissioners and to our school board for their commitment to work together. I would just say it this way, I just wish that everyone worked as collaboratively as these two boards work to ensure that we had the resources that we need to support our students and to fund our schools. How'd I do? Just saying. That's a challenge. And then equitable opportunities for all kids. One Chatham is not a slogan. It's a commitment. It's not a slogan. And so we should always be looking for ways to ensure that whether you live on the edge of the county one way or the other, the opportunities are there for you to be great. And we owe parents that. We owe them the ability to deliver the hopes and dreams that they had for their child when they were rolled to the curb at the hospital with the little beanie and they took them home. We all had those hopes and dreams, right? And we know what we expected. And we are partners in trying to help them get there. And then facilities. We have aging facilities and we're going to be looking at new facilities and we're going to have a mindset about what that means. Old facilities can't be new again, but they can be maintained well. And I'm so very proud of our maintenance folk who do that. But as we build new facilities, we understand that that's going to be a balancing act, that we're going to have a real clear understanding about how we made the decision, why we made the decision, and those kinds of things. As we prepare for that growth, that is also a challenge for us. And then safety. Our promise to parents is when you drop them off, we're going to get them back to you in the manner in which you dropped them off to us. There's nothing more important to us than making sure that our schools are safe. But that also means that our kids are emotionally safe when they're in the buildings. That also means that our staff, that they're safe, that they're able to come to work and do what they love, and that's work with your children. And so we sometimes have to make pretty tough decisions about that. But our commitment is that every single child in Chatham County Schools will be able to come here and get back to you the way you dropped them off to us. And that while they're with us, they're going to be safe. And so we have to constantly refresh and do that and work through that. And so the final piece is we want to thank all of those who partner with us and partner with us regularly. And we have a great list of those who do it, but we know that those community partnerships enhance our ability to do this work. We have a video, but I'm not going to play that video. I think you all have seen that, but we're meeting regularly with our partners. These are many of our partners that we have MOUs with. And we are so very grateful to them because through their work, we're always able that's the extra hug that we put around our kids. These partnerships are the extra hugs. But most importantly, this is an investment. This is an investment. And I want us to recognize that the return on the investment is not tomorrow. The return on the investment will probably be weeks away from now when we've almost forgotten. You know, when you go and find that, I love going to the dry cleaners and find where I've left money in my pocket, and they're honest enough to give it back to me, and they say, we found this in your pocket. That's what we're up against. We're going to have a lot of those surprise returns on the investments that we're making today. What I want to encourage us to do is not count any one of them out. As you can see tonight, I hope you saw the depth and breadth of what we're trying to do for kids. Here's what I commit to you, that in Chatham County Schools, every single child can find home. Every single child can find a place where they can be comfortable, where they can be happy, where they can be safe, and where they can grow. We have to be committed to that. And so I encourage us to stay there and to continue to work to make that a part of our work. And then if you heard something tonight that's been amazing, I ask you and go tell that. Because there are a lot of people, if tonight a fight broke out in the middle of this aisle, I wouldn't have to tell you to go tell that. The video would already be out there. I want to challenge you tonight. If you heard one thing that resonated with you, whatever your social media platform of choice is, go and tell that story. Go and tell that story. Because for me, I'm a musician, and I say this all the time. Mr. Blyce and I are both former music teachers. And I had somebody say, well, you don't like to blow your own horn. Well, you don't say that to a band director. If you don't blow your horn, it makes a pretty boring concert. We should be having a concert about the successes in our schools every single day. So if you heard something that resonated with you tonight, go and tell someone. That's our job. That's our job. And so finally, I'm bullish on One Chatham. I'm here for this. This is who we are. This is what we're going to do. Because ultimately, my job as your superintendent every year is to tell you where we are with our school system. We're not perfect, but I can tell you our schools are in fact strong. Compare us across the state. Our schools are growing. We're getting better every single day. I remember I was at Seaforth. I heard Dr. St. Clair say this, we're going to get better 1% every day. Was it 1% every day or 1% every day? And if you get better 1% every day, just think about how amazing we're going to be together if we just take those steps. We don't have to be perfect, just make progress. Our schools are performing. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. But most importantly, our schools are shining bright. This year our theme is shine. Shine bright. We want our schools to shine. We know that they can, but ultimately, we want One Chatham to be that place where every child finds home. We thank you for coming tonight. We hope you heard something that encourages you to be a supporter. We hope that you heard something that will encourage you to hug one of these kids before you leave here tonight. Thank you all. Have a great evening.